visit some brother out on my call. This is the moment you're meant to know.
Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? I hope you're doing excellent. So, today I came to you because, I told you that I was going to tell you what I got in my meditations and what will befall not just the United States,
Yes.
but the world. But it was a spiritual reading, but I'm not ready yet. I feel as though we're just not ready to hear it. We're not ready to hear it. But I did pick up something. And in my meditation, this is what I picked up. I picked up that the United States is going with, I don't want to say the world, I don't want to say overpopulation like that, but I think that we're dealing with an overpopulation.
Right.
Okay. Now, that may not be it, but that's the best way I can explain it. And I think feeding people, because that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about food and the food shortages. But before I get into the food shortages, I just want to give you my little monologue. And that is what I get out of and why the United States is really correct. It's for a lot of reasons, but this is one of them. And there is an energy that's going about that deals with narcissism. And this narcissism, from what I gathered, like I said, it's not all clear to me, but what I gathered about this narcissism is that you have a generation, not just our generation, but other generations coming from all over the world that's coming in this country that feels as though they're entitled. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying they're not entitled. I'm saying if you are legal and you are here, you know, it just belongs to a generation. And I say a generation of an age, I mean, it affects all of us. But I would say from 30 and below.
Yes.
Would you agree?
No,
and what I've seen about this, it's been rising up in this country. It's been rising and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that the cartel and are so narcissistic that they are taking over. They're taking over in places, especially in the outer borders of the United States. Like maybe in I don't know, like California outskirts, like Texas, you know what I mean? Yeah. The outer regions. Mm-hmm. And they are coming in. Along with that, we also have to deal with our youth. Yes. And we have to deal with our crime. And we have to deal with our people, because this spirit is a blanket over the world. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I did pick up that. So, but outside of that, I didn't pick up much of anything, but I did pick up this before I get into it, so I don't have to keep repeating it. I thought that the food shortages was due to the tariffs. That's what I thought, but that's a small part of it. That's not it. It's global warming. It's global warming all around the world. Yes. I don't know if it's geostorms. I don't know if it's produced. I'm not clear on that. Mm-hmm. But there are storms, because I get an impression that there is, now people can argue. Okay. But there is a clear thing of overpopulation. It could be in areas. We're going to get into that, but it's about areas that are overpopulated, and they can't feed you, and they can't, they're homeless, and it's just terrible. But that's what I got out of my meditation. So with that being said, so I don't want you to think that everything is tariffs and tariffs and tariffs, because I was like, well, how we going? I was really stressing here because I didn't understand. And I'm like, well, how are we going to eat if we get this stuff from You know, China does electronics. Yes, we do get food from China, but not nothing to worry about.
Yes.
And as far as go ahead, baby Cone, go ahead. You're saying yes. I would.
Yes.
If you can add to it, I would want you to. I really do.
Yes,
because it seemed like you would understand. You understand that.
Yes.
Please.
The best way I could put it is that China is like the manufacturing country. Everything is, at least from here in the States, everything we get, everything, tables, laptops, just anything.
Right. Mainly their thing is electronics.
Yes.
Right. I didn't know that. Well, go ahead.
Yes, definitely. They are high in technology for sure. They had robots serving in restaurants before it even came over here into the States. So they're just way up there. And that's why that they're, I would say, a competitor when it comes to technology and definitely AI.
Right. Now, one of the things that troubled me is because, you know, when you know, they say ignorant is bliss, but I don't feel blissful. I just feel like, wow, I thought that China does have food and China does import some things, but we don't need China for that.
Right.
And apparently our surplus, we probably have enough computers, probably not modern or whatever, or no one to make them. But I just felt like, I just thought that, oh my God, we're going to really suffer. However, the negative is that it's the other countries that are around. All right. So you got the other countries, and then there's conflicts and contracts and borders and waters and all of this that gets in the way of the shipment. And so I thought that by America, the United States, saying, okay, we're not going to deal with China. We're dealing with these tariffs, and this is going to affect us so badly. But what I come to find out, I'm like, really? So they're struggling too. Yes. Now, this I didn't know. And, you know, I've been doing my study. And while they're studying, it's because they have all this stuff that they made, and now it's a freeze on it. Like all this electronics, whatever they make and whatever they buy, it's like luxury items for us. You know, yes, they do have food, but it's like luxury items because we can get our food from a whole lot of other places all over the world. All over the world, there's a big trade. Everybody is trading with everybody from Vietnam all the way down to Timbuktu. That's how the trade industry is. So as I'm studying this, I'm learning a lot because, but there are going to be some big changes, but what was normal as regular items, they are going to become luxury items because the price is going to be super duper high. And, so as I get into this, I just want you to know that I did get that vision, and that vision was about, it's the attitude, it's the mentality of these cartels. They are very narcissistic. They're going to do what they want. They're going to barge, and then they believe that they're getting ammunition from us. That's on the borders. It's a lot of stuff going on that many of us don't know. And my pet peeve, and this is no judgment on anyone. This is just my little own pet peeve. When I see that the condition we're in, and I see that we're worried about what we're going to buy our children for Christmas.
Yes.
That leads me to think we ain't feeling this thing.
No.
If I'm worried about what I'm going to buy my child for Christmas, and I'm not worrying about stocking up on food, that's a disconnect.
Yeah.
If I'm worrying about what I'm going to get my child for the way to school in September, that's a disconnect to me. So I don't think that it is as bad as people think it is or going to be.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It could just be the fact of their, it just really shows where
American minds are. Right.
What they prioritize.
Right.
Superficial things.
And then let me know how much we are, and no judgment. This is definitely no judgment to anyone. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I'm taking it serious. Why? because I can see the signs of the times. Sooner or later, something's got to give. Something has to crack. Something has to break. And you never know where a storm is going to come and wipe out this, wipe out that crop.
Exactly.
You never know where a flood is going to be. All the manpower, just like the fire, whether somebody started it or whether someone, or it's just natural disasters, or it's what they're doing up there in the heavens. I don't know, but I do know I'm sounding alarm, and I'm a type of person, I don't sound an alarm easily. I'm very careful about sounding the alarm. I did Corona.
Yes, you
No one believed me. I was in the church and no one believed me. I even said, I just see them giving injection. No one believed me. When 9/11 happened, I saw planes coming down from the sky. I swear to you, this is true. And nobody believed me. So here I am again, feeling pressed. And I feel like the world don't really take this seriously, but it's just not about the tariff. That's all I can say. It's deeper than that. It's about what's going on in other countries. Other countries are suffering because of storms, heat waves, oh my God, salt water's coming in and killing crops. It's deeper than that. So it's like, if we think we have killer storms in this country, look at the world. The whole world is being affected. And so we're feeling the sting of it. But when you start going into those grocery stores and you see the prices are jacked up so high, it's because to get that stuff here.
That's true.
We may have to wait months to get something where you could have gotten something maybe in 2 weeks. You may have to wait 2-3 months now, and with the cartel that we deal with, that's a snag. And it's just more than the terrorists. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
It's more than that. It's global warming. It's other countries that's in conflict. It's a whole lot of other stuff that is just not about us buying from China.
Right.
If we don't buy nothing from China, trust and believe we're okay.
True.
At least today, unless there come a major need for making computers.
That's true.
Outside of that, that's what one of the biggest things that China is. They import these computers and the electronics and things like that for us.
Yeah.
Yes, is there food? Yes, but we get so much food from other places. But it's the problems that the other countries are having that they have to look out for their own. So here is do you want to add anything to that?
No, that was a good sum up.
So here are some of the things that I have. You all know, don't laugh when my glasses get all crooked because, I have to buy glasses and I haven't did it yet because of inflation. So here is some of the things. And this is the grocery list. Now, I was getting information off of TV, getting information off of the preppers, getting information off of the news, getting information off of the internet. I have been searching for stuff for the last, Friday, Saturday, and the day is Sunday. Yep. So for 3 days, I have been doing some homework. So here is the grocery list. And some of these things you may not find in your grocery stores, maybe about June or July, maybe as early as 2 weeks. I don't know, but we'll see. So I'm going to name them and I'm going to tell you where they come from and give you a brief description if I can read my writing. Bear with me, okay? Okay, so the first thing on the list was coffee, and coffee come from Brazil. And did you know that Brazil is one of the biggest distributors of coffee? Did you know that? And because of that, it was hit with drought. So a lot of these countries, Brazil and the areas, their regional areas, the areas that are out there where they hit with droughts, heat waves, and the trees or the coffee beans, they can't produce enough coffee because they're giving coffee not just to the United States, but they got other countries it's a world trade.
Yep.
This is the world trade. And so it is being affected. Okay, so let me read what I have here. So Brazil is the big distributor or has been hit with drought caused by heat waves of 40% less coffee beans less than a year ago. Wow. And Vietnam, which is a big distributor of the coffee bean, because of water reserves and extreme temperatures and political crisis. So they got a lot going on. And what Brazil had, I think Brazil is not Brazil. Was it Brazil? No, Vietnam. They like the instant coffee. So they like the instant. And that's extreme temperatures and political crisis. And it's so prepare now. So if you love coffee going to spike. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, maybe I'm over exaggerating because I don't drink coffee at all. Never have. My mom told me it was grown when I was little. My mother said that it was grown up stuff. It was only grown ups could drink coffee. Now she knows she's wrong for that, but I get it because of the caffeine and jitteriness. So I do appreciate it because Baby Cone used to drink coffee and she would get the jitters. I couldn't believe it. Am I lying? So it could be true. What kind of coffee did you used to drink? It was Starbucks every day. Yes. Tell them how much you used to pay for your. That's when we used to have a little bit of coins. Tell me, a little bit of dollars.
That was a luxury item.
and how much did you pay at the time? Because I was trying to remember what it was then.
Yes, a large would be.
And that was like what, 8 years ago, 7 years ago. Yes. And what was a large? What kind of coffee you get? I know you had a special kind of coffee.
Mostly frappuccinos.
Okay, and what do you remember the price? Somewhere along the price.
Yes, it was.
And your teeth when you get a chance. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, thank you. It was about $5.29.
Wow, and what is it today? Do you know?
Like 7, 8, maybe 9, depending on what kind you're getting.
So it could go up. I'm thinking maybe $15, $14 for a luxury cup of coffee, for a cup of Joe, mixed with some stuff. I have no idea. So anyway, for you all who love coffee, please stock up on your coffee. Another thing that I found that was so fascinating, and this is something that I drown myself in, and that is olive oil. And do you know who make olive oil? Spain and Italy. And they too are dealing with temperatures and drought, and their products has reduced by 50%. Not enough olive oil. Their fields are shrinking. So if you do buy your olive oil, please buy them in cans or dark bottles, like dark green bottles.
Do you know why specifically in a darker bottle versus a lighter bottle?
Because it preserves it so it can last longer.
Makes sense.
So it could last longer. So so the product, so they have 50%. Their fields are shrinking. So buy your coffee. Another thing, this was shocking to me. Rice, Vietnam, India, Thailand. This is 60% of the world. This is 60% of the world that these countries supplies rice to, but no more surplus. And a surplus is an overflow.
Right.
Like you got an overflow or something. So if you don't know what a surplus is, so when I say the word surplus, you might know, but my job is to make sure that the world understands. So you have a surplus of coffee. You have a surplus. So we don't have the surplus. Mm-hmm. So that too, along with coffee, olive oil will become a luxury item if you can find it, because their fields are shrinking up. Oh, I said olive oil, rice. Because of 60%, 50% is a lot. 40 is a lot. But when you think of 60, that's the world.
Yeah, that's more than half.
Yeah, so that's more than half. And they supply the world. But due to the drought and the conditions, the storm and the salt water that backs up from the water, it contaminates it. And a lot of these places don't have the filter or the running or the mechanism to run it. So they can't produce the rice like they used to. And they have to keep a lot to feed themselves, just like us. We are a wheat country. So if we're going through and we're giving the world, but if we got into, and which wheat is being affected too. But if you're being affected by wheat, you got to understand we're going to have to hold back so our own can have it. So it's going to be something. So whenever you can, please buy yourself extra rice. If you like rice, you like fried rice, just rice and gravy, rice or whatever, buy rice, rice and eggs, whatever. And they say here about the rice, they have to keep much for themselves. And they say a lot of our farmers are turning away. And this is the United States. No, I said a lot of, so farmers here. So I think we have rice too. But a lot of our farmers are turning away from it because of the complications and what's going on. And they're turning over to soybean. So because they're trying to save their farms because of what's going on. See, it's not just the taxes. It's not just that. It's what's going on all over the world. And I don't mention America in this, but we are too a part of giving. And we too, we are part of the fruits. We are a part like of rice. We are a part of meats. We are in this too, but I didn't put us in this. So a lot of farmers are turning away from that and using soybean, fish, and that's wild salmon. But this was talked about. I remember hearing something about this years ago. So this is about wild salmon, and this is about salmon is going to be like scarce in your market because the ocean is not producing. They don't have enough time to have a layover to let the ocean breathe and reduce. So because of this, we're suffering with fish, and we're going to be suffering. This is what we're going to be suffering with: salmon, wild salmon, due to water conditions, cod, due to overfishing, because it's so much,
I said surprising people love cod that much.
I like cod.
I know, I love cod.
The fish can't adapt fast enough for the demand. We were warned about this. I put it down there. We were warned that this was going to happen by the ocean biologists or whoever. So what
NOAA.
they suggest
I said that the NOAA.
Yeah. So buy cans of tuna or packs of tuna and cod. You can buy them in a can or whatever, or you can buy bags where they are frozen while you can, if this is what you want. Now you may say, what if nothing happens? Well, that's a wonderful thing, because if nothing happened, then you got enough food to last you for 3 months or 6 months or 2 months. And then if nothing happens, then you don't have to worry about doing grocery like that. Why? Because then you could go out and buy yourself, your children, their things they need for school. So don't look at it like, what if it doesn't happen? Well, I hope it doesn't happen. Like, I don't. In a tidbit here, just taking me off of my course for a second, I didn't know that America didn't make toilet paper.
Really?
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
You know what the names of Scotties and Snuggles and Huggles and whatever kind?
So they come from like Germany or like Scotland.
I didn't even write about it because I don't think that we should worry about it. But when you go to the market or you go buy your toilet paper, just buy enough that you know you're going to need for you and your family.
It's starting to sound like the pandemic all over again.
Well, in a sense, it's not a pandemic, but it is it's more like a what is that word when prices are up? Inflation. This is an inflation problem. So our oceans need time to recover. I'll give you my sum up after this, baby Cone. You can give your sum up. Another thing is avocados. Avocados, I'm not an avocado person, but I do every now and then. Like, what is that?
Guacamole.
I do like guacamole if it's made the way I like it. Mm-hmm. So I do like guacamole, but due to water conditions and costs, you'll go to the market, but as you're going to see, avocados are going to go up in prices. And now Mexico is one of our large distributors of avocados. Okay. But because of safety issues, it's slowing down shipment. Because of what's going on with them, because of safety issues. So you got cartel, you got all of this. So it's slowing down shipment. And so, like I said, maybe something would have been shipped in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Maybe now it's going to take 2-3 months now to get to us because of other factors involved. So the price of avocados are going to rise for people that's on these special diets or keto diets that needs avocado because that's that vitamin C that they need in their diet. Another thing is spices. Now, I was shocked to hear about spices, but spices come from India, Vietnam, and Indonesia. They are a risk due to poor soil. Wow. Shipping problems. When I say shipping problems, it could be war. It could be dealing with other countries, being able to let them pass through the waters. It's dealing with all of that. So when I say shipping problems, just think difficulties, extreme difficulties. So this is what they say. Stock up on cumin. I don't particularly care for cumin, but I do like black pepper, cinnamon, and cloves. You don't like cloves. You're allergic to cloves. Don't they make your tongue itch?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I know you don't like them. So there will be a spike rise in those items. Another thing is cocoa or cocoa and chocolate, which comes from West Africa. I may not name all the places, but I'm just naming the big distributors. Due to drought, listen to this, the cocoa trees are dying by the thousands. That just sad, prayers going up for the cocoa trees. And the laborers are shortage because a lot of people in Africa, a lot of these people that's on these farms that was doing it, mom and pop farms, the kids are growing up and they don't want to do this, and they moving, and they only get $1 wage a day for all the work that they do. And a lot of these kids going to college or moving away, going to the bigger cities, and so their farms are dying along with the drought and along with everything. So a lot of that is going down. That makes sense to me.
It does make sense, most definitely.
And I advise you to just listen to these things, and take heed, because what is it to stock up just in case?
Yeah.
Just in case. This stuff will last you for about 2-3 years anyway, so you haven't lose anything. Just call yourself a novice prepper.
Ooh, okay.
Just in case. And you have so many movies, you have so many movies that has warned us and want you, even if it's not this, something is coming. It's coming, whether it come today, whether it come next week, whether it come next month, whether it come next year, 3 years, 5 years from now, something is always coming. It has never failed yet. Never failed yet. You understand? So when things get like this, don't poo-poo it, take heed to it. You're being warned, okay? So sometimes it's hard to believe, because you be like, ain't nothing gonna happen. Good. We don't want, do you want it to happen?
No, I do not want
it to happen. I don't want it to happen. But baby Crone was doing this about a year or so ago, and she was going into the markets. We can show some of the movies.
I remember.
Show them. And she was going to the supermarket and showing the sales, and we have a Wetmans, and that's one of our luxury shopping stores. That's where we shop at, that and Safeway. Yes. Safeway is not my luxury, but I get things that I like from Safeway, and we go to Wetmans. And now we done through in Giant. These may not be familiar to you, but they are for us and where we are in Maryland. So now we added Giant. So that's 3 markets that we go. And then we used to have that big market that we go to. What was Costco's?
Yes.
So that I can't afford to pay them for our membership. So I'm like, I dropped them. And at the end of the day, I think you can find some bargains, but I still think they're pretty expensive. Like you may be saving $1, but I don't see a big difference. Well, anyway, let me get back. And so, like I said, the trees are drying up. And so because dark chocolate, now that's going to be pricey. So this is everything I'm naming is a luxury item. So chocolate is going to be a luxury item. Now,
it used to be a luxury item at one point.
At one point. So it's going back to that. Now, just tell you this, baby Crone and I was in the market before I got sick, I say about 4 months ago. And I love dark chocolate. But the doctor said, if you're going to eat chocolate, this was like years ago. If you're going to eat chocolate, eat the dark chocolate because it's better for you, whatever. So we went to the bottom, just a small bag of Reese's.
Yeah.
No, they're not Reese's. Reasons. A small bag, like about that, like that. That was like $9-10.
Yes.
I can't imagine what it is now. I can't imagine what it will be. So they're saying chocolate is going to be a luxury item. So if you love chocolate, And you see what's going on in South, and you see what's going on in Africa and West Africa about the cocoa tree. So if you love chocolate, get your cocoa, get your stuff just in case, so you can be ready for Christmas. You could be ready for this, because whatever we're going through, you know, it's not going to, if once it hit, it's not going to go away overnight. You know, it's going to linger for a moment, right?
You know what's ironic?
Yeah.
They're worried about Christmas.
I know.
Speaking about chocolate, nobody has thought about Halloween and giving out candy. Thinking about the chocolate. And
because I think that people are just thinking about the now and thinking about back to school. But you're right. They skipped. You're right. You skipped over. I guess they said we could let those other little kids go. We worried about our kids. But at a time like this, I don't think that I would be worrying about Christmas. I would be keeping my eyes peeled to what's going on. And speaking of that, and let me go about the toys while I'm paused here on the chocolate.
Okay.
A lot of the toys company right now are shipping back because they foresee this is happening. So there may not be a whole lot of variety of toys for your children.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if you want to, you would shop now and try to get it if that's an importance for you. Then if you want, I would shop as soon as I can,
but
because
as soon as demand goes up, the prices
will go up. Absolutely. And that's with food and everything. Once your demand, price is going to spike. So whatever, but they are saying a lot of the toy companies, due to what's going on, due to the shipping, due to global warming, due to everything that's going on, a lot of them are taking back their orders and trying to get their money back, because they know that it's going to be a rough time and they don't want to be stuck with the inventory.
Yep. Because
a lot of people may not be going out, because we don't know the conditions. That's like 6 months away. Mm-hmm. So we don't know the conditions. So a lot of them, it's like, I'm going to cover my tail. You know what I mean? I don't want to go in the red and I'm stuck with this. Yes. I'm thinking everybody's going to bombard in here. And I'm thinking it's going to be 20,000 and it's only 8,000. That's a lot of inventory. Yes, you know what I mean? Is. So when you think about Christmas, so look at that. And so, like I said, and back to this, and as far as the chocolate, the Hershey company in Pennsylvania is facing challenges due to global cocoa prices, which I told you that was happening in West Africa. Another thing that's happening here is citrus fruit. There's called a greening disease. It's HLB. I didn't say it, but I got the acronyms. Did I say it right, baby?
Yes.
HLB is a bacteria that attacks the vascular system of the citrus. Thank you, baby cone tree. Caused by, and these little tiny insects, there is no cure for. Also, climate change, and California had a bad frost along with their fires. Yes. They had a bad frost, and so they lost a whole lot of citrus fruit, so that's what happened.
And you know what's so funny? Everyone is just starting to rave about those sumo citrus fruits.
Yeah.
And just when everyone's finally getting to it, it's like it's going to be in scarcity now.
Yeah. So now, when you think about the citrus fruit, you know that we have citrus in Florida and in California and wherever else, and probably Georgia. I don't know, but I know Florida and I know California.
Yes.
But also here it says Brazil. Now, this is something that I think you may find interesting: orange juice. And did you know that Brazil was the largest that gives orange juice to the world? Orange juice products is low due to drought. So Brazil, that's what I'm saying. This is global. It's just not about tariffs as I thought. It's deeper than that. And so they are going to be higher prices. And this is it. If you can find orange juice. So don't be surprised if your favorite drink in the morning is disappearing off the shelves, or you find it really expensive, because that too will be a luxury item. And as for the Ukraine and Russia, 30% of the world, and that's wheat. not even including the United States, because I didn't put us in all of this. They supply 30% of the world, Ukraine and Russia. And what's going on with Ukraine and Russia? Well, so due to the conflict, just the beginning. This is just the beginning. So this is going to be, they in a conflict, right? So stock up on flour, right? Stock up on flour, and also the price hike. I put it here, and toilet paper. So don't be surprised if toilet paper go up. And remember, a lot of this is just because a lot of this is happening because of getting the stuff here, the delays, the other countries going through their issues. We're not the only one who's struggling. So the whole world is moaning and groaning right now. So it's not just us, and it's just not about taxes. And I keep stressing that because that's what I thought it was. Because everybody says it's the terrorists. It's the terrorists that's doing it. It's the terrorists. That's what's doing it. It's more than that. Okay. Because it's affecting the world. And so just like China is a big entity, it affects the world. So just like Russia, these are big, Brazil, these are countries that's giving us big stuff, and they're going through global changing. It's climate change, and it's changing for all of us all over the world. And that's one of the things I didn't consider.
Yeah, that's true.
And last is dairy. Don't be surprised that butter, cheese, and milk.
The one thing America runs on.
Yes, cheese. They put cheese on everything because of the production costs. And did you know that a lot of the farmers are closing because a cow can't give milk when in extreme temperatures. If it's hot, a cow can't give milk. So you got to look at that. And with the extreme temperatures in these farm and cattle places where they are, in Texas and all these places, they got droughts. It's hot. And so the cows can't produce milk. And so what's going on? So when they ordering parts to fix the air conditioning unit or put in air conditioning unit, they have to wait 2 and 3 months for the parts to get here. So a lot of farmers have to close down. Just like wheat farmers, just like citrus fruits or whatever, they're closing down. Because they don't have the workers. Why? Because they don't have the money. They can't pay the workers. And if the cows are not producing milk or your fruit got a disease, so you got the good and the bad fruit that's dying on the field. No one's there to pick them. You can't afford to pay them. Right? Your machine's gone down, your cows. So people laid off until you can get it. And because of the flow, and the cows need a special treatment, they need special temperatures, which I didn't know that.
Yeah, very interesting.
I didn't know that, So because of the heating and that, so they won't produce milk. Cows need a certain temperature to produce. Many farmers are closing down due to these crises. Heavy cream shortages, like Baby Crone like to make her own cream, where we pour it in a jug, and you shake. It's a job. It's a job. But you literally see it turn into fresh butter. I don't like it personally because it's too fresh. It's too fresh for me. I'm used to the stuff that's been sitting in the market for 3 months. Sitting in the market for a year or two. That's yellow and stuff. This is all cream. It looks like butter, but light butter. It looks so fresh. Baby Crone loves it. So Baby Crone, if you want to make butter, you better go ahead on and get your heavy cream. So it will be harder to make your butter or other things that you need to make it for. But the one thing I can say about heavy creams, you probably can get it, but a lot of things your market or place of shopping may just start limiting to one order.
They definitely are, at least for eggs they are.
Are they doing it for eggs already?
Yeah, they say that you're limited to buying 7 cartons of eggs per customer.
Wow. So and this is what they're saying. So some of this stuff that I'm naming, and these luxuries, you may only can buy one or two, but I know that for the cream shortage. And so another thing that I wanted to talk about too, that's important before I give you my thoughts. These are the states that are being hit hard, very hard. California,
Mhm.
California, their food pricing has gone up 13%. I didn't go into it deep. I'm just giving you an overall. New York City, theirs gone up 11%. So that's a real high price. And every place I name, remember there are stores, grocery stores closing down by the groves because they just can't afford it. They just can't afford it. Okay. Because of, and like I said, because when you have a prices, you got to pay, it's a lot. It's a lot going on along with the tariffs, but that's not the only thing.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying. Another thing is Texas. But the one thing about Texas is they call food deserts. And that's people that live on the outskirts or live like an hour, 2 hours and further out where their grocery stores are closing up because they don't have the demand. They have the demand, but they don't have, like you may have 12,000 people live in an area, but they live like 3 hours and they have to travel. And so a lot of these stores are closing up because they can't get the goods they need or whatever. And a lot of these people that's living out there struggling, so they can't even shop because they're suffering, along with the big belly people that's going, like Bill Gates, that's going around buying up all this land from the broken, instead of helping them with all that money and helping them, he's going up and buying land for himself. And he's not the only one.
Not the only.
Okay, that's greed for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another player. So just when you hear me say food deserts, that means these are and these are stores that has closed down due to the situation, but these are isolated populations, isolated, and so when you're isolated like that, it's hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have Florida food and price 10.4% hike. Wow. Illinois food desert. Oregon 13% up. Also Nevada, Arizona, and so, and when you think about some of these places, think of the homeless in California. Think of how price it is. They just got over a fire, a drought.
Mm-hmm.
And California has been dealing with things really, really bad. Think of the homeless in Nevada. My goodness. So, and a lot of people are wanting to leave Nevada because of these things. Arizona, Michigan, 11% hike up. Washington State is feeling the blues. They are feeling it. I just wanted to name a few places that's going on. Now, this is my take on it. My take is this. I feel as though that Mother Nature is groaning. This is what I feel. I feel as though Mother Nature herself, the universe, I don't want to say the universe, the earth, the earth is groaning. It needs time to heal. It has been plundered, plucked, ate. We got so much trash and we don't know what to deal with our waste. I mean, I think China used to take our waste, but they don't take it anymore. So we got waste to the high. And I think that Mother Nature is just saying, give me some years to heal. This is what I think, along with global warming. I think the earth itself is groaning and saying, give me time. I think the waters, the oceans, I think they're saying, just let us reduce. You're taking everything. You're not giving us time to heal. You're not giving us time to replenish. You're not giving the earth time to rest, to bring forth fruit and vegetables and all fish and all those wonderful, wonderful things that come from the trees and come from the earth and come from the water. And I think that nature is groaning. It needs time to heal. So therefore, it has to come to a point where just like the oceans are just not producing.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's just not enough time. And for the ocean to produce, it really needs some years. So I think, like, you may have to go back to biblical times where the earth needs to chill for 7 years, or 5 years or whatever it takes. I don't know. I'm not a earthologist. So, but that's what I feel strongly within inside myself. I feel as though that the earth is groaning. It's like it's just you want it to produce, but it's not producing the way it should because you're not giving it time to rest. What do you have to say?
Yes, I definitely agree on that. And that's actually a really good perspective to look at the fact, because I completely forgot about global warming. Now, I was aware of
and remember,
global warming.
excuse me, a lot of people don't believe in global warming, but I do. I do.
But I never realized the extent of how much global warming could impact agriculture and as well as just the current state of the world, period, when it comes to actually, I knew there was like a world trade, but like I didn't know we was all in this together, really.
Right. Neither did I. I didn't know. That's how much I didn't. It wasn't that I didn't care about it. It's just that I live in the land of plenty. And when you live in the land of plenty, you don't think about. You just think that this stuff just grows on trees and you just got it like that. And you got the money and you can buy it. You don't even think about it. But now, because I went through Corona, it's not a joke to me. And I remember going to the grocery store and there was no toilet paper. I always kept like a couple of rolls, but I remember that, right?
I think they even had bread shortage too. People was buying up bread.
And we went to the market many times and I'm like, what we going to do with no bread? Now I know what I do. I'll have flour and I'll make bread. I'll get on YouTube and say, how do you make a loaf of bread? That's what I would do now. So now, those things that I took for granted. Yeah. So I enjoy every cooking show that come on, how to make this, how to preserve that, whatever, how to can this. I don't know how to can. And that is something that even if I were to look at it on YouTube, I think that even if I had a book, I would really want to go to a class because one slip, you could really get botulism. So it has to be done right. So I would have to be in a class where there's a teacher who knows what to do versus me doing it myself and trying to can. Because Baby Crone and I really did try to dry out some.
Yep, dehydrate.
We did something wrong with the dehydration machine because I wasn't satisfied with it. And it was pineapples and bananas. And it wasn't messed up. It just didn't.
Definitely dehydrated for sure.
But it didn't look right.
No, it didn't.
It just didn't look right. So I don't know what we did wrong, but we did. So anyway, my thoughts on everything. That's my thoughts. My thoughts is that's what I think that's happening. I really do. And I just think that nature itself saying we need time to heal. With everything going on in the world, we, after hundreds and hundreds of years, we need time to get our head together. It's too much. That's what I think. Now, you may not share that thought, but that's how I think. Now, on a lighter note, that's what I have that you enjoyed. That I enjoyed that. I really did my homework. I love doing stuff like this now. I really do. So what I will say, what I am going to say there, if you notice, we have a page now. What is it called? Our page.
A commercial?
Is it called a commercial? I don't think I would call us a commercial.
An intro.
We have an intro now. And that intro was given to us by a lady named
April.
She has, I don't know if her name is Hebrew. I don't want to say it because I don't have the pronunciation. But she did that for us. And I'm telling you, and if it wasn't for Lakeisha is where I got it from. And I was really having trepidation because I'm like, I don't know if I should do it. I don't know. I don't know. But Baby Crone, you can put her, when you can put it right over top of my head, how to get in contact with her. And she's reasonably priced.
Yes.
And I love the music. I mean, she sent me 4 tracks and she sent me 4 pictures for each track. So the pictures she gave me for free. So she gave that, and she's reasonably priced, and she's really want her business. So if you're looking for someone and you want your page to look good,
Yes.
give this woman a call. Trust me. Look at Lakeisha.
Yeah, Lakeisha.
And look at me.
And apparently, I'm not sure.
I don't want to say her name.
Okay.
I can't. I don't want to divulge anybody's name, because this is somebody that's famous, or famous to us. So I don't want to give out that. So
but just say that
she does. But I'm saying I can't stress it enough. Like me, don't be like me, knowing you need the help and just saying, I don't know if I should do it or not. Do it.
Yes.
It made my space look so much better. And this is what I did. I gave her what I wanted.
Yep.
I said I want something inspirational, but not preachy or gospel. Because as you know, we are esoteric station.
Yes.
We deal with news. We deal with hot topics that's going around the world. We keep you posted on anything that you need to know, along with the fact that we're esoteric. So therefore I am spiritual. Baby Clone is spiritual in her own right, but I am the spiritual one here. Let's just keep it so that I don't want them to put that pressure on you. So, but it's mainly me, and Baby Cone is her. But one day Baby Cone is going to be leaving us. She's going to be going to work, so she won't be here as often, if anything at all, because we don't know where she's going to be working. We don't even know anything until next year. So, it's sad for me, but I know she will visit.
Yes,
I know that she'll probably do something once, especially living home. If she decides to stay in the state we're living in, or we move to wherever she's going, then she's going to be here at least twice a week, whatever that is. But she won't be here with me as she can. So I'm putting that out there. And last, back to this, her name is April. Put her information up there, big and bold and yellow. Please, I'm going to say this again. If you need a front page and you want music, or you don't even want nobody singing, you just want to make it look good because you want to draw in more people for you beginners, she's reasonably priced.
Yes.
You will be surprised at her pricing. So even if you don't call her and just inquire about it. Why am I doing this? Because I'm so excited. Yes. I was so excited. I was so excited, and I thank Keisha. Thank you, Keisha, because if you didn't do that, I because I didn't even know where to go. I didn't even know what to do. Yeah. So I'm telling you that you will be pleasantly surprised. Go inquire for yourself, reasonably priced. Go talk to her. And that front page make it look so much pretty.
It does.
I really love it. And her work. And she even made the tone for what I asked. I said, this is what I want. And in about a few hours, she came back with it all done. It was all done in less than 8 hours, maybe.
Yep, less than 8 hours.
Now, when she gets busy, it may not be that. So take advantage of it. And you're going to be hearing more of me advertising her because I said that I would. Yes. And not because even if she didn't want me to, she didn't want me to, I wouldn't. Right. But it would be terrible of me not to extend it to you. Yes. Because Lakeisha extended to me, I am extending it to you. So it's two of us out there. And when we do our commercial, she's going to be in our commercial. Yes. Because I am so tickled over the face of it.
Yes.
Oh, and the song, I haven't even played the whole song. Oh, the song is about 2 minutes. Yes. Okay, I'm rattling on and on and on.
Because we are just so ecstatically happy.
Oh, over the work. So again, thank you, Keisha. Thank you, April. We're going to, I thank you in more ways than one. And I appreciate what you did for us. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. And so with that being said, now that I got that all over, I don't have to worry about us cutting off. It's just a gradual thing. Our information is up there. It's just, I'm just ecstatic. I'm bubbled over. So I hope that this is me going on and on about it. So I just wanted to share that with you. All right?
Yes.
So you know what we say?
Yes.
Sunflowers.